Hello, my friends. Welcome. This is Manifest Tarot. I just want to say to all of you who have left so many beautiful and kind messages in the comments over the past couple days, I so appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining me on this channel and for bringing your wonderful energy to our collective experience. Thank you so much. In today's reading, we are going to be exploring messages from one of your interdimensional selves. So I am so excited, and this is such a, I don't know what to say, such an interesting, such a vibrant topic. I can't wait to explore it. And I have an oracle deck here, and we will select 3 piles. Let me wake up this deck. It's a brand new deck for me. We're using this for the first time together, and it is going to help us. Let's see, maybe it came to us from another dimension. Let us see what we have as messages from one of our interdimensional selves. Here's the 3rd card. And I'm also going to to bring out the spirit card for us. This is what is on the bottom of the deck. This is card number 13, Morning Dew Girl. Wow, look at this illustration. It looks like the dew is diamonds. She's harvesting the dew. The dew looks like diamonds. What a beautiful illustration. Maybe that's what one of your interdimensional selves is doing right now. So this is pile number 1. This is card 51, To the Moon and Back. How cute so there's so much, oh my gosh, her skirt is a wing, and she has 2 parakeets, and she's sitting on a sickle moon swing. Wow, looking off into some miraculous thing we can't see right over here. Pile number 1, this is a fascinating card. Let's see, what is this one? This is pile number 2. This is card 12, All is Connected. It certainly is. What an appropriate card for this reading. There's a wind, there's a wind blowing in this card too. Right, for pile number 3, we have card 33, Weaving Flowers. I wonder what she's weaving. Could it be a parachute? Look at all these strings attached to this. Maybe there's some giant parachute above her, or balloon. Like a hot air balloon. Wow, so look at these 3 cards. I am going to pull or get 3 crystals for us. I want to get them straight. I'm gonna get 3 crystals, and I will be back in 1 moment. All right, we are back. Pile number 1. Your crystal is this clear crystal, oval. Oops. Pile number 2, you have a green aventurine oval. And pile number 3, yours is a red jasper with this cute little white patch. It always reminds me of a little animal with a random little white patch on it. You know, like a cat who's all black, for instance, and has one little white paw. Or a horse with one white blaze down its face. All right, here are our 3 piles. Pick however you want. You can pick by the number of the pile, 1, 2, 3. You can pick the number on the pile, the phrase, the picture, the crystal, however you want. And of course, you can pick more than one. So I will leave the timestamps below, and I will see you in your reading. Hey, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You picked this card number 51, To the Moon and Back, which is so interesting because we are going to be traveling to another dimension and back in this reading. It's quite profound. And you also chose this clear crystal. So I wanted to pull another card or 2 from this deck, so let's put this up. Hoping you can see it all. Put the crystal here. And I think I'm going to keep this card out for all 3 readings. This is your spirit card. And I'll pull one more from this deck. Liberty, card number 2. Card number 2 with Liberty. She's giving this bird liberty, and maybe she's giving herself liberty. We don't know, but we will probably find out. Do you see that there's clouds on her dress as well? What gorgeous illustrations in this deck. All right, we are going to also pick another oracle card from 2 more decks. So we're asking this deck for messages from your interdimensional self. The Quail and Gooseberry with Anticipation. This is card 51. This is very similar tones in this card, these 2 cards, very similar colors. And we will pick one of these. Messages from your interdimensional self. Building blocks, card number 28. What is that on her hair? It looks like maybe a little curlicue. I don't know. It looks interesting. Look at how beautiful. Again, these cards, these illustrations are so beautiful. Very inspiring. All right. So let's take some cards from several decks. We're going to use this as one of them. This is the After Tarot. We'll wake it up here and ask. I already think that this one needs to come out. What messages do we have from pile number 1's interdimensional self? Actually, I think one more. What messages do we have from pile number 1's interdimensional self? Oops, oh, 2 more came out. What messages do we have from pile number 1's interdimensional self? What messages? What messages can we get? And I wanted to get at least one from this deck. Oop, this is the one that was trying to come out. It was peeking out at us. I'm so excited about this reading. I don't know if you can hear this, but a flock of geese just flew by overhead and were calling. So that's something that I haven't heard in a while. The geese are not, it's after the time where the geese are migrating, so that's interesting. So we have your first card here, the Queen of Wands. And talking about a black cat, look, there's a black cat right here. And one of its paws is hidden, so its right rear paw might be the one with the white patch. And you see that it's looking at this lion here. This lion is facing one way, pretty much to the front, but this lion is actually turned and is facing this cat. How interesting. The real action, I mean, she's up here with her wand, whatever, but the real action is right here between the cat and the lion, the big cat. So this is us and our interdimensional self right here in the first card, pile number 1. Wow. All right, actually, I'm going to put this up here. We have a lot of cards, so I'm going to make as much space as I can. Let's look at our second card, the 4 of Cups. Can you see this if I put this? Oops. Can you see this if I put this here? Yes. The Page of Pentacles. How generous. It's the spirit of generosity right there. The Mentor, this is the Hierophant. And you see on the lion, the elephant's forehead is the sign of infinity. The Queen of Cups, another queen. Lots of strong energy and lots of strong messages from your interdimensional self. The Strength card, oh my gosh, I just was saying strong messages and the Strength card came up. The 9 of Swords. Wow, pile number 1. The High Priestess. I guess I'm feeling very optimistic because all of the cards, I want to keep on making them go up, kind of like a ladder, like we're ascending a ladder. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to do that in a moment. I really feel like I want to make these go up like a ladder. So let me reveal the last one. We have the Ace of Cups. This is, this deck says ghosts, but the the ghosts or cups. So I'm going to rearrange the cards, and I will see you back here in just a moment. All right, pile number 1, we are back, and I just felt like I wanted to arrange the cards as a stair, and I know now why, because as I was rearranging these cards, I was looking at them, and I am getting such a picture of you journeying to your best self, which is, it ends up being this Ace of Cups. And the next to last stop on your journey upward is this High Priestess. And also the way this all ended up is that the Queen of Wands is above everything. So this means that for you, pile number 1, this is your last stop, and it's kind of connected. It kind of brings it back to the ending. I'm sorry, to the beginning. Very, very interesting. So let's see what we have. I'm so drawn to these 3 right here. First of all, the Strength card, the 9 of Swords, and the High Priestess. And almost all the time, when we see the 9 of Swords, this picture is so wonderful to illustrate the entire ethos of the 9 of Swords. These 2 girls are hiding from this giant fear that they have. They're so afraid of this stuffed rabbit, but it's a stuffed rabbit. There's nothing to be afraid of. They're just imagining it to be frightening and something they have to hide from. But it's just a stuffed rabbit, and they could play with it instead. And wow, how amazing would it be to have such a giant stuffed rabbit? You could bounce on it and roll up in one of its ears, and it would be so nice to have this, but they're afraid of it. It's perfectly in the correct proportions with the rest of it's actually extremely tiny if you think of it, because these are Lego bricks. So you know how small Lego bricks are, right? And a button. So this bunny is extremely tiny. It's like this big, but they are even tinier. So this fear, I feel like they are making themselves feel small. And is that what you're doing? It seems like this is in one certain area of your life, that it's not in every single area of your life, but in one area of your life, you're making yourself feel small. And this is you and your interdimensional self. There's a lot of love and protection. They're both wanting to protect each other. One of them is not seeking comfort and the other one providing comfort. They're both seeking comfort from each other, and they're both wanting to protect the other. So usually with this 9 of Swords, it's just being so frightened, right? Being so scared and almost immobilized by fear. But in this case, this 9 of Swords, there's nothing to fear. There's only joy, but there is something to fear in that these 2 are fearful. There is something to fear only because they're fearful, if that makes sense. And there's no mistake that the 9 of Swords is flanked by the Strength card and the High Priestess. So we have this Strength card and we have this High Priestess. Both are telling you that there's nothing to fear. You have the strength to break free from this prison, pile number 1, and you are able to breathe the fire of flowers. Do you see what's happening here? The flowers aren't being burned by this dragon's breath. The dragon is creating the flowers. Do you see that the flowers are being born in the dragon's breath? These flowers here are just growing up, and they're being created by the dragon's breath. So again, this is something that if you said, oh, there's a fire-breathing dragon outside, people would be saying, I'm frightened of that. I don't want to be burned up by fire. But in reality, this dragon is actually creating something beautiful that we all love. And then this High Priestess as well. This High Priestess is the embodiment of manifestation powers. It's the female aspect of the Magician card. It's got a lot of the same connotations. It is a manifestation card. And so what do you, pile number 1, this is what you're, this is one of the main messages that your interdimensional self is telling you. What do you want to manifest, pile number 1? Do you want to manifest fear out of nothing? Do you want to manifest fear out of a tiny little stuffed rabbit and be paralyzed by it? Or do you want to manifest beauty and joy out of something that is normally scary? And pile number 1, I'm really feeling that there's something about one aspect of your life. It could be I'm getting a strong feeling that for a lot of you it's career, because we have this building blocks. It seems like for a lot of you it is a career. And then we have a mentor here. Some of you might have a mentor in your business or your place of work. So it could be career, or it could be relationship, any sort of relationship, love relationship, family, a relationship in a workplace. It could be living situation, but no matter what it is, it's something fundamental to how you are going to perceive your life, how you are going to live your life, how happy you are going to be. So for this, and I wanted to say for this, you are prepared to go to the moon and back. It's something so important to you, pile number 1. So important. And one reason, it could be just about your abundance in general, because with this thing that you have, this either or decision for either making a lot of fear out of something that isn't necessarily fearful, or making something beautiful out of something actually a lot of people think is fearful. Once you make your decision and you do what you want, you are going to feel a huge sense of liberty and just self-possession. Just, you're going to be so sturdy and in your own mind, if that makes sense. Look at this figure. She is completely and utterly at home in herself. And that is what you will be, as well as this one too. Both of them are. They're both saying the same thing for you, pile number 1. You're getting very strong double messages from your interdimensional self, is that your interdimensional self is also telling you the exact same thing, that you are deciding pretty soon. I mean, this is pretty soon. You are going to make your decision, and you are going to be building the rest of, the trajectory of your life on your decision. And of course, we can't ignore the building blocks. So do you see this? These blocks, maybe they were in the middle of building something, and then they got completely frightened. Maybe somebody set down this little rabbit, which is like a tiny little rabbit, right? Tiny little rabbit. But to them, it's enormous. And so to them, they think, and this rabbit is a stuffed rabbit. It doesn't move. It's not able to ambulate. It's not able to think. It just exists as a stuffed rabbit. But they are perceiving it as completely they're as completely frightening. They're terrified of it. So they were interrupted in building whatever it was they were building. But look at what this alternate interdimensional self has done. Using the power of her mind, she has built this structure, and she's standing atop it, and she's also moving around these other colored blocks, pink and blue and green, brown, with her mind. And she's also building and improving herself. Very, very, very strong messages saying the same thing for you, pile number 1. So this 4 of Cups, it's usually signifying some sort of ennui, some sort of not being, how can I say that, not finding joy in anything. In this case, pile number 1, it is telling you that you're actually using kind of a dispassion, or it's telling you that you can use and you should use dispassion to decide your trajectory of this thing that you are deciding. That you take a step back and say, is it really this frightening thing, or is it something that is not frightening? So pile number 1, we have this anticipation. You are, again, I should have said that with this, you're anticipating the joy and the absolute self-sufficiency and the absolute stability of whatever this is that you are working on. And you're going to know, pile number 1, you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Is it your relationship? A relationship. But it's your, if I say a relationship, you're going to know exactly which relationship I'm talking about. It's your relationship that you are focusing on. Is it work? If it's work, you know what it is. Is it your job that you would like to get, meaning, like you would like to get a job in a certain career path? Is it something like, is it your school? You want to graduate, and go into on a certain path, and you have to succeed at school? Is it your family? Is it abundance, whatever it is you're going to know, and I know that you are working on it and have been working on it. And you're interrupted here. But this is you too, and this is your interdimensional self going, listen, pile number one, I have done what you are in the middle of doing and you have been interrupted in. And look, your interdimensional self is you. And they can do it, so you can too. They've already done it, so you can too. So, for those of you, this mentor, mentor / Hierophant, this deck calls the Hierophant the mentor. The Hierophant is so complex. It's such an interesting tarot card. The Hierophant is, especially this one, because it says the mentor, so it could signify your career, because mentorship is for careers, right? It also, as the Hierophant, it symbolizes stability. So it could be your home life, it could be your family, it could be your place, the place where you live. You might be wanting to buy a home or move cities. It's stability and home life. It also symbolizes marriage and stable relationships. So it could be a love relationship that you're working on, and it could be a friendship that's so important to you, right? That's just a stable. It's also, you know, of course, it's mirroring the stability. Look at how stable your interdimensional self is. Look at her building blocks are her foundation. And the mentor / Hierophant card is saying the exact same thing. You are working on something that is fundamental to your stability as a person. And then, look at all these court cards you have. You're just getting a lot of messages for different aspects of your life. And of course, I'm saying that for most of you, there's going to be just one thing, but some of you could be working on multiple things. And then that's one reason why we're getting such strong messages from all these different things in your life. It could be money and, you know, abundance and career, because look at this Page of Pentacles. Pentacles is abundance. Pentacles is wealth, and look at how generous you could be. Oh my gosh, this is you, and this is your interdimensional self saying, look, I already have this and I'm going to give this to you. This is a gold coin the size of a pizza, size of a personal pizza. And your interdimensional self is saying, hey, pile number one, here you go. I'm giving you all of this abundance. Look, I have this to give to you because I have done this already. Look, pile number one, you can succeed right now. And then you have, this is like the energy to do it too. This card symbolizes your energy to do what it is you need to. And then the Queen of Wands, we're just going to continue on with this cat and lion analogy, or, you know, interpretation of this card for this reading. And you have the sunflower. This is the sun. This is your success right here. Pile number one. But the cat, it could be, you know, it could be looking at this lizard, but it really, in this reading, it's looking at this smiling dragon, this smiling lion, because really, pile number one, you're looking at yourself. You're looking at yourself and you are seeing that you might have been perceiving yourself as a house cat, but you really are a lion. Remember in the original Strength card, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the one that we most of us know, the iconic Rider-Waite-Smith illustrations, the two figures on the Strength card are a woman and a lion. So again, you have this strength. You have the strength within you. Pile number 1. And this is your end. This is your end position. And this Queen of Cups, pile number 1, this Queen of Cups is emotional fulfillment and abundance. Just, this Queen has everything she needs and everything she wants. Not just what she needs, but everything she wants. Look at this interesting thing on her head. There's a skull. This also might be, I mean, this is definitely a skull. You see this, right? And this might be a skull. I don't know what this is. It's a little face looking down, but I don't know what it is. But we're seeing that she has a skull on her head. That is probably her old self that is now gone because she is renewed. She renewed herself by renewing her self-concept. So she's still aware that she did that. She's still aware that she changed herself so much that it is now, that old woman is now dead and gone because she is her new self. And look at how small the old skull is compared to the new one. You, pile number 1, are growing that much. That much, pile number 1. You're growing so much that this artwork is filled with so much stuff that we can't even see it all in one sitting. It's almost overwhelming. Her cup is overflowing, pile number 1. So your interdimensional self is telling you, pile number 1, that your new beginning with whatever it is that you have been manifesting is up this series of steps, up this building blocks journey that you have. Your first step is looking at your situation with dispassion, not like dispassion as in you are not caring about it, but dispassion to see the truth, whether it's really frightening or something that is capable of bringing great joy. And of course, whatever you're manifesting, pile number 1, this is all up to you, whether it's this or this. So whatever it is, you can have the world, pile number 1. So your first journey is dispassion. Looking at your situation with dispassion and with logic, and you're manifesting logic, which of course, if you have a logical brain, it might be difficult sometimes to believe in manifestation, although you're always doing it. But manifestation logic has its own logic, and you have to look at your situation with that manifestation logic. And then we just keep going up these steps, and there's no happenstance here, because the Strength card and the 9 of Swords are right next to each other up here near the top of the journey. And then you become the Master Manifester, and then you have the new beginning right away. Confronting these two ideas, and you could be anywhere on this journey right now. Anywhere on this journey. this is Master Manifester pile. This is pile number 1 as Master Manifester, and then this is the new beginning. And there's nothing between this right away. And then you go right to the Queen of Wands, who already has everything. Who already has everything she wants and needs. And she is the mistress of her own life. She is able to conceive of a thing and have it. She brings new life to her own life. And so remember, you and your interdimensional self already has what you are working for. Your journey is to the moon and back. Your journey is encompassed within your own mind. It's to the moon and back, but it's really in your own mind, just like this Queen of Cups is carrying the reminder of the skull of her old self-concept. Pile number 1. So this is your message from your interdimensional self. Very beautiful and powerful message, and I really enjoyed bringing this to you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed this, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 2, welcome. You picked this card number 12, All is Connected. And what a magical card to get for an interdimensional self reading. See, this is a spider, and they are weaving all of these webs. And these are all the different dimensions, and they're all connected through this central hub. I love her dress. Did you see her dress has leaves growing out of it, and she has a little belt of leaves. This artwork is so beautiful. So this is your main card, and you also chose this green aventurine. And this is the spirit card from the deck, the main oracle deck that we're using, which is this Morning Dew Girl. And this is going to be for all 3 piles. I didn't notice this before, but there's a little parakeet. Maybe there's going to be something about that for your reading. Oop, and we have number 12 and number 13. So let's take one more card from the deck that we chose these 2 from. So we'll ask for one more message from your interdimensional self. Liberty. Oh my gosh, this came up in pile number 1. Same card. All right, so we are going to take one card from this oracle deck. Pile number 2 wants a message from their interdimensional self. What do we have? This is card number 34, the Snake and Fern with Starting Over. You know, this can be obviously any time starting over, even in the next moment starting over. And then we will take one card from this deck. Message from your interdimensional self. Number 9, Treasure Island. Wow. Did you see all the coins and the hearts in the water as well? The ocean. Treasure Island. Wow. We gotta see what's going on here. So we're gonna take some cards from several decks. This is the first one. Let's take this one, some messages from your interdimensional self. There's the fourth one. It was really making sure that I had it had my attention. So this is the second deck. Let's take a couple cards from this one. All right. And we're going to take some from this one. It's this deck. Oop. Oh my gosh, I guess we have our two right here. And I'm going to take one from this deck. All right, pile number 2. How exciting. We get to have messages from your interdimensional self. This is the first card, the 3 of Cups. We're already very abundant and full of good cheer and love. Oh my gosh, the Lovers. So right next to this 3 of Cups, it has a strong relationship / love connotation, because sometimes the Lovers card can signify choice. But let's see, and I'm going to see the rest of the cards first. We have the Ace of Wands with this big lizard. Ace of Swords. Wow, pile number 2, you have 2 aces right together, and this one is coming underneath this bird. Lots of new energy. 3 of pile number 2, you have, this is your second 3 of Cups with flamingos. And there again, do you see that both of these cards are underneath this card? And so there's 3 sets of birds. We're getting a lot of synchronicity here. The 9 of Wands. The 4 of Cups. The Judgment card. The penultimate card in the tarot deck. And this is your last card. We have the 9 of Cups. Ghosts is cups, so this is a wish fulfillment card. Wow. Pile number 2, what an interesting reading. We have this little bird triangle here. So pile number 2, the thing about this reading is, for you, everything truly is connected. All is connected. Pile number 2. We have lots of connections here with these different cards and these different things that are happening. And I want to say that this starting over card is really connected with this 9 of Wands and this 4 of Cups. It's a triangle. There's some triangles here. There's some triangular action here in these, in your spread. So we have a 9 of Wands, which is just being so beat up and really, you've been trying to do something and you have been working away, and you are almost, I mean, you're pretty much almost there. You know you have more to do, but you are steadfast in your knowledge and that you're going to attain this, and you're steadfast in your energy, that you're putting your energy straight toward what you really want. Then we have this Four of Cups. This Four of Cups, this illustration for this Four of Cups is, number one, I love this mermaid's dress. I mean, it's so pretty. That's number one. And she has pearls. She's hanging out with all of her pearls, and she's hanging out in her watery world, but she's very bored by it. What I'm seeing, though, is for you, this is very similar. Four of Cups came up in pile number one, and it's similar. It's similar in that I'm not reading the emotion as bored. I didn't read it as bored in pile number one, and I'm not reading it as bored in for you, pile number two. There's an energy that's keeping you stuck. That's really true. That's the message I'm getting from this particular Four of Cups, but it's not boredom, it's not ennui, it is some other emotion. Let's continue to look at this. And you know, maybe I should wait until later for this, but this Treasure Island, Judgment, and Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, are another triangle. Super abundance. You are flanked on each side by just so much happiness and abundance. You've got abundance galore here in this triangle, and you have extreme happiness and togetherness in these two Three of Cups. Anytime you've got two cards the same in a reading, it's like, so, you know, it's squared. And then you have this Lover's card, which right near this Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, Three of Cups, Three of Cups. I mean, this Lover's card, you can't get away from this Lover's card. As a Lover's card, I'm sorry, you can't get away from new beginnings and being happy together with someone or several someones. So this Lover's card, it sometimes connotes a choice, but in this case, it is definitely a relationship. It's, for most of you, it's going to be a love relationship, but for some of you, it might be another kind of relationship, even a work relationship, but some sort of, you know, strong fundamental relationship to your life. But this Lover's card is, it's indicating a fresh start, of course, because there's the two aces. But the two aces are not telling you that it has to be with a new person. If you want to rekindle something with someone that you're in a relationship with, and it might be stagnant, or it might, you know, or if you want to renew a relationship with someone from the past, that's also valid. But the fact that you have two aces together, it's very indicative of strong new beginnings, which is you're going to manifest exactly what you want in this new beginning, and you have the intellectual will to, not intellectual will as in, you know, necessarily intelligence, but you know, you're bringing your will to bear, your intelligence to bear on what you want. So this and this are basically staring each other down for who's going to win in you, pile number two. And I think this is one of the main messages that your interdimensional self is telling you. They're actually, let me put this down. They're offering you a glimpse into what you can have. You can have, I'm going to put this back here for a second. You have beautiful relationships in this big triangle here. You have lots of abundance, amazing abundance in this triangle here. You have this all is connected, new beginning, like everything new is connected. You have this liberty and morning dew girl, which, as I was saying to pile number 1, look at how both of them are completely in their power. They're both standing there. They both know exactly what they want, and they're both exactly where they want to be. And this is your interdimensional self telling you and showing you that your interdimensional self is you, is an aspect of you, is a second, or 10 billionth you, pile number 2. And your interdimensional self is a version of you. And so, I'm sorry, I'm getting so excited, I'm shaking the camera. And they are standing in their power, which is your power, because you and your interdimensional self are 2 aspects of the same person. So your interdimensional self is telling you, if you don't like how something is going in your life, I mean, you basically have 3 aces. Starting over, ace, ace, starting over, starting over, starting over. You have 3 starting overs, and all is connected. So your interdimensional self is telling you that you, pile number 2, are just the same as your interdimensional self, who is who you want to be. We have connected to the version of you who you, pile number 2, want to be, and who you are working toward being. And they are that person, and they are showing you how to get there and what you're going to get when you get there. And what they're saying is, it comes down to your will. It comes down to your fortitude and your will. I'm not sure that they're saying that you have to have a big struggle, but I guess they're saying the most important, not guess, I know that they're saying that the most important thing for you to do is to persist. This is a message of persistence. Pile number 2, you persist. If you, and I think this starting over, I mean, number 1, this starting over is saying the same thing as an ace. So you should, firstly, you should consider this as having 3 aces, which is very powerful. But also this starting over is giving you a second message. This is a very high number. It's 34, pretty high number. And it's telling you, no matter how many times you might fall off your manifestation game and have moments of doubt, you start over again. The next moment, you are back on. You persist, and the only way to get what you want is to persist. And the starting over is right above the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Cups, which is saying the same thing. Another triangle of, this is your triangle of persistence, pile number 2. And yeah, this is such a beautiful reading. I forgot to say 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. And the wish fulfillment cards in, look how cute. Look at how cute this little cat's happy face is. The 9 and 10 of Pentacles and the 9 and 10 of Cups are wish fulfillment cards. Pentacles are pretty much straight up abundance. The Cups, which is what these ghosts are, the suit of ghosts in this deck is Cups, is even richer in the sense of more than just abundance. It's emotional fulfillment. It's everything. This person is emotionally fulfilled and happy. They're not just abundant, because we all know some wealthy people are not happy. But this Nine of Cups figure is wealthy, abundant, and they're also happy. So they're abundant in emotional fulfillment. So it's a very strong message for you. Pile number 2, it's just your interdimensional self is telling you, look, I have been where you are, and what I did to succeed is persist. And that's what they're telling you, pile number 2. And I just have to point out one more time before we go. Your relationships, this message is so strong that it's not just about one relationship, I have to say. You might be working on a love relationship, and that's included in this, but this message is so strong for you that it's telling you this can encompass all your relationships, and that persist in seeing people the way you want them to show up for you, and seeing yourself as worthy of being shown up for, and you will get everything you want. And remember, take these as like your spirit, as your spirit people, as in you're going to emulate the strength and assuredness of these two figures. Pile number 2. So pile number 2, this is your reading today. Your interdimensional self really had a very focused message for you. They really did, and it's a beautiful message. All is connected. Persist, and you'll have everything you want in your emotional life and your abundance life. Just persist, pile number 2. So this is your reading. I really thank you very much for joining me. I am so grateful that you're here and sharing your energy with me and with everyone else that visits the channel and watches videos. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose this card number 33, Weaving Flowers. And I'm envisioning this as her having a giant hot air balloon up there. And you also chose this red jasper with a little white patch on it. So this is going to be your main oracle card. And remember, this is the spirit card that we took off the bottom of the deck, and this has been here for all 3 readings. So we are going to take that oracle deck, and we'll take one more card for you. And we're going to ask it for, actually this one wants to come for messages from your interdimensional self. Lorelei, look at this card, number 31, Mermaid. She picked up their anchor. She picked up their anchor, and she's just saying, look at how pleased she is. And they're saying, oh, wow, what is going to happen to us? How interesting. All right, so we have another couple oracle decks we're going to ask for one card from. So we'll wake up the deck and say, what, actually this is the one that wants to come out. What messages do you have from pile number 3's interdimensional self? The Quail and Gooseberry, this is card number 51 with anticipation. This also came up in pile number 1. And one card from this deck. Messages from pile number 3's Interdimensional Self. Milk and honey with 51. You have 2 51s. What are the odds of this? Are you anticipating a picnic? Look at how happy this elephant is taking a bath. Wow, I can't wait to see what is the meaning of all of this. If you notice, all 3 of these cards have, actually all 5 of the cards, to tell you the truth, they all have the same colors. They all have the same essence, kind of. So we are going to take some cards from several different decks. Let's wake up this deck and ask it for some cards for you, pile number 3, for your from your interdimensional self. Let's see this one. And let's do one more. Actually, this one. And then we're going to take a couple from this one. Really? Is it these 2? Okay. Messages from your interdimensional self. We have this deck. We're going to take a couple from this deck. Messages from your interdimensional self. Oop. I guess this one wanted to come out. And then one from this deck. Wake up. I can't wait to see what your interdimensional self has to say to you. This is the first card, the Devil card. The second card, the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. You're going to be enjoying something very much. You're going to be enjoying your, well, I shouldn't say definitively, but as of the way it looks right now, it looks like you're going to be enjoying your wealth. What else do we have? The 9 of Pentacles as well. 2 wish fulfillment cards, one after the other. Wow. And the 8 of Swords, which is rapid movement. Pile number 3, you are getting an avalanche of abundance. What else do we have? The Knight of Cups, also forward movement. Look at this beautiful illustration, talking about hot air balloons. So interesting. I was just talking about hot air balloons and one came up, so I'm really feeling this hot air balloon thing, just adventuring in your hot air balloon, pile number 3. This might be your mascot. This might be what your interdimensional self is doing right now and is telling you to hop on in because it's beautiful up here. And where I am right now, it's winter. So look at this character all bundled up in mittens and hats and scarves. Very appropriate for where I am. As you can see, I've got really warm sweater on. So let's see, what else do we have? The 2 of Swords. Very interesting. Pile number 3. What else? The 8 of Wands again. Another. And look, do you see what she has in her hands? It has these strings going up. Oh my god, it's like so magical, your messages here. What else do we have? The 8 of Swords. The Eight of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Wow. I'm so curious what this last card, what is your final message from your future, from your interdimensional self? The Two of Swords again. Pile number 3. What is going on? You have so many double and triple messages and quadruple because, okay. All right. This is your first message that's over and over, and it's quadruple, a quadruple message. Pile number 3. Oh my gosh, there it is. Look at all 4 of these cards. You have your main oracle card, which is Weaving Flowers, which I said when I first saw it that it looks like the strings of a hot air balloon. And what comes up right away? A character in a hot air balloon. And then also we have this character, this mermaid. She's holding this boat by a rope, by their anchor rope. I'm going to show this to you again. She's holding this boat by their anchor rope. So yet another thing with ropes. And then we have this 8 of Wands with her holding these lightning bugs by strings. What does this mean for you? I'm going to pile number 3. I'm going to put these back up so I can see everything because I have a couple ideas and I am not sure yet exactly what is going on. Okay. Pile number 3, your interdimensional self is telling you, I mean, they're not telling you this because you know this, but you are feeling stuck in one aspect of your life. And it might not be stuck as in, stuck as in, being forced to do something or being, it could be feeling stagnant, feeling like there's something in your life that isn't going how you want it to. But again, it doesn't have to be extremely earth-shattering, as in it doesn't have to be something that is affecting your day-to-day life outwardly. It could be something that is. It could be something very important to you and is affecting your day-to-day life. There's no doubt some of you might be having that feeling and, having that reality. But for some of you, it could be something that is just affecting your inner world. And not like if somebody were to look at your life, they would think, oh, that person has it good, that person has it good. Oh, wow. But you might be feeling stuck inside. And the 8 of Swords is always signifying that this is a false sense of imprisonment, a false sense of immobility and inability to break free. And your interdimensional self, I just showed you how many strings and, expansions there are in this. These 3, the Weaving Flowers, the Knight of Cups, and the 8 of, and this particular 8 of Wands are all expansion upward, expansion outward, hot air balloon, rising up. So pile number 3, there's something affecting you that you feel like it might be something that, this is the thing, for some of you, obviously, there's something that, it's something that, hey, you know exactly what it is. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I mean, and you know exactly who is involved, and you know what is involved. For some of you, you might be thinking, it might be more subtle, and you might be so used to it, the situation, the feeling it engenders in you, that you aren't even aware that you are keeping yourself imprisoned in that way. Meaning you are taking it as a fact of life instead of something that you can change. Some of you. So, your future, why do I keep on saying your future self? It feels like your future self to you. I wasn't feeling like it was a future self for pile number 1 and pile number 2, but for you, pile number 3, I keep on saying future self because your interdimensional self is kind of wanting to make you go up into the future. Your interdimensional self is urging you to rise up, to flow into your future with this upward motion, with this limitless energy, this limitless energy, this energy of complete and utter, just, I guess limitlessness is the way I keep on saying it. And you know, I think that this character has a little hot chocolate. I'm going to say that this character has some hot chocolate that they're drinking. Is that a cup? Is that a cup? Are they holding a cup in their hand and drinking hot chocolate? That's what I'm going to say they're doing. You have an invitation from your interdimensional self to become the future self that you want to be. And there's so much going on in your reading, pile number 3, and it's a lot of doubles. You have 2 8 of Wands, and 8 of Wands are swift future, swift action, swift forward movement. It's another thing of like rushing into the future. It's forward movement, rushing toward this thing that you want, that you might not even be aware that you want, but you're rushing toward it anyway, or rushing toward the possibility of it. You have a possibility of being of embodying the person that you want to be. But again, the issue for some of you is that you might not even be admitting it to yourself. You might not be aware that that's what you really want. And so your interdimensional self is telling you, hey, you can attain this. You have to know what you want and you have to go for it. And so this is happening so quickly because you have 2. It's like squared. It's forward movement squared. It's rushing forward. Another double is this 2 of Swords. So you have a choice, and I don't think you have 2 choices. I think, again, this is just a choice squared. It's such an important choice for you. And it could be, you know, signifying, remember, I really feel like this is such an important card for you. I don't even want to even temporarily cover it. So let's look at these 2. We are going to pull 2 cards to look at your, if you have a choice coming up, we are going to pull 2 cards for you so you can have some guidance in your choice. So we're looking for some guidance for pile number 3 for a choice. The first card is the 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment again. And another 9. Oh my God. This reading is unreal. Pile number 3, the 9 of Wands. 2 9s. What are the odds? Somebody tell me, what are the odds? Somebody tell me, what are the odds? I can look at that myself, I guess. Oh. So on the one hand, you have the 9 of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment card. And it's not just, oops, I just realized you can't see these, both of these. So on the one hand, you have the 9 of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment card. And this card is signifying not just, and this is, oh, wow, this is the land of milk and honey again. Pile number 3, it's like every single card of yours is connected together. It's this weaving flowers embodied. It's like we're weaving one tale with all of these. And I haven't even gotten to these 3 cards, which are so important, so I'm going to get to them. Every single card in this reading is so interconnected and so woven together. If you see, this is the exact same scene, land of milk and honey, and taking a bath. How magical. This reading is magical. Pile number 3. It's so interesting how these things happen. So anyway, one of these 2 cards that we pulled to clarify your choice, if you're having a choice, 9 of Cups is not just being abundant, it's being emotionally fulfilled as well. It's a very happy card as well as a very abundant card. It is a wish fulfillment card. So this is your 3rd wish fulfillment card in this very limited amount of tarot cards. You have 3 wish fulfillment cards. And then we have this 9 of Wands. And 9 of Wands is signifying that you've been working hard, which is kind of funny because she's sitting reading a book, but maybe she was just out working hard. Maybe she was just out gathering the morning dew. Maybe she's taking a break from gathering all the dew. You know, I just realized she could be actually hanging the dew up. She could be hanging up the dew, or she could be gathering it. We don't know, and it could be up to your interpretation, pile number 3. So it's being steadfast in your decision and maintaining your focus and maintaining your forward momentum, even in the face of difficulty, even in the face of resistance, even in the face of 3D reality, which is telling you you're not going to get what you want. So let us examine this card, because is this lizard, okay, so this lizard seems like it's your 3D. I think this is showing us your 3D, which is this lizard really wallpaper, or is this wallpaper really a lizard? Meaning, is something in your life really what you're saying it is? Are you making something, are you making a mountain out of a molehill, or are you making a molehill out of a mountain? I know what, if it's good, I know what I would rather be doing, making a mountain out of a molehill, meaning I want more of that good thing. I want more of the good thing. So if it's what I perceive as negative, I want to make a molehill out of a mountain. If it's something negative, if you want wallpaper and you're getting a lizard, turning your attention away from it and concentrating on the wallpaper is the way to go. This is what she is doing. She is ignoring the lizard coming out of her wallpaper. And she is imagining it as wallpaper, and she's manifesting it back into wallpaper. And that is the way, turning your attention away from the 3D only when you don't like what's happening. Obviously, we say turn your attention away from the 3D, but what does that really mean? That is really meaning turning your attention away from the 3D if it's not what you want. If it's what you want, you're going to enjoy the heck out of it. And that is what your interdimensional self's message is to you. You're going to ignore what you don't want in the 3D, and you're going to enjoy what you do want in the 3D and give your attention to this. If there's something happening that is extremely upsetting to you, pile number 3, and that's happening in the 3D, you can turn your attention away from it without ignoring it. You can start saying a different story to yourself about it without ignoring it. Instead of trying to put a blindfold on yourself, you can accept it. Or accept it and flip the narrative you have about it. But if you can be as master of a manifester as her, she's like Neville Goddard level master manifester. This lizard is coming out of the wallpaper, and she is completely ignoring it and just sitting there reading her book. She's ignoring it. And you know what's going to happen? Pretty soon this lizard is going to fade back into the wallpaper. This figure looks like this figure. So this is you. And this is your interdimensional self. And you're two aspects of the same person. You're two aspects of the same person. There's no separation between you. This level of manifestation prowess leads to this. Happiness in the internal landscape and only concentrating on what you want leads to happiness in the external landscape as well, and doing what you want in the 3D as well as doing what you want internally. So pile number 3, let's go to this magic corner here, which is, oh, there's so much going on here. I'm going to leave this like this. You've got the 9 of Cups, the Devil, and the 9 of Cups. You have the 9 of Pentacles, the Devil, and the 10 of Pentacles. And pile number 3, the Devil sometimes is saying, is warning of temptation. But in your case, in this case, and most of the time I read it like that because that's what I see. In your case, it's enjoying yourself. This devil can also mean just enjoy yourself. Enjoy what you have in the 3D. And you are being promised every single piece of abundance and more. It's like, take what you want and take what you're thinking about as abundance and double it, more than double it. And that's what you're promised here. This is what you can have. And this is what your interdimensional self is saying. Look, me, because your interdimensional self is you. It's another aspect of you. Look, me, this is what I have. And this is what you can have. And you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to deny yourself the enjoyment of what you can attain, pile number 3. You have the ability and the right to have the most wonderful life. And you know what's happening here. Uh-oh, I made this go all over. I think this is how these came up. I hope this is how these came in, but they're all saying the same thing. Oh, I think this was switched. I don't think it matters. But what is happening with these messages is your interdimensional self is telling you exactly what you can have. And they even reminded you with this pull for the double 2 of swords, which is a choice. And they told you that with your manifestation powers, you are going to be able to have, ignoring the 3D things that you don't love, helps you to attain the 3D that you do love. And that there is zero shame or evil in enjoying everything you've worked for, and that these changes are promised to you quickly if you take yourself out of this immobility. And again, remember, for some of you, this is going to be something that you don't even realize that you're holding yourself caged over. It's something that you might have wanted to do as a child even, and that you shoved down and said, oh, that's impossible. But it's not impossible for you. The sky is literally the limit for you, pile number 3. You are limitless. This is you. This is you. You're in our field of vision, and you rise up away. That's you, pile number 3. Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous reading for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here with me and sharing your energy with me. This was such a beautiful reading. I know that you enjoyed this reading because it was just phenomenal. And I would love it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any future readings. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.